Welcome back to episode number 90 of the Swoosh Hoops podcast. We got the whole entire crew back, and we got myself, EricL, aka the Captain Clutch, strikes again. On to round two. We got Ernest, aka Los Angeles. What happened back Wednesday night? You can see why. How they ended their series. We got Armani, aka Armastradamus, and we got Josh, aka praying for May 12th. That is when the draft lottery commences, and the futures of Cooper Flag, Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, and the top prospects in the world. Where will the teams that didn't make the playoffs will be drafted? And it'll be a very, very interesting day in terms of the lottery. So, on this episode, we're going to discuss the first round of the NBA playoffs. In the Eastern Conference, well, besides the two top seeds, the Thunder and the Cavaliers, which dominated both of their playoff series, the rest of the playoffs have been filled with excitement, a lot of physical play, big performances, and a lot of speculations coming out from these series.
I think this has been one of probably the best playoffs we had in a while, especially like the physicality. They let them play.
And you still got two more playoff series that are going on right now. Tonight we got Game 6 of the Rockets Warriors, and we do have a Game 7 between the Nuggets and the Clippers tomorrow. The Eastern Conference, all first round playoff series have been concluded last night with the Knicks defeating the Pistons in Game 6, surviving that series, winning 4-2. Pacers beating the Bucks in 5, 4-1. The Celtics beating the Magic 4-1, and the Cavaliers smoking the Heat 4-0, beating the Heat in Miami by 37 in Game 3 and by 55 in Game 4. Meanwhile, out west, you had the Thunder sweeping the Grizzlies, Rockets and Warriors going for a Game 6 tonight, which the Warriors lead 3-2. You had the Minnesota Timberwolves beating up on the Lakers 4-1, in which JJ Redick basically spazzed out and couldn't control his emotions. And you have the one series that's going to go to 7 games, the Nuggets and Clippers. Clippers winning last night 111-105.
Game 7.
And Game 7 will happen tomorrow night, 7:30 on TNT. Angel, pray for you, bro.
Yeah, hate watch it. Watch the party. Yeah,
it's an elite hate watch. I win either way.
So
right.
So give us your thoughts on this so far in the first round playoff series.
Well, let's start with the Eastern Conference first.
What are your thoughts? What have you seen the last couple of weeks during the playoffs? Anything that's jumped out? Give me your thoughts, overall thoughts on these series.
I'll start. So Cavaliers, they came out and handled business. I didn't expect much from the Miami Heat due to the type of season that they had, with all the issues and craziness and stuff happening with Jimmy Butler. I just knew that pretty much they didn't belong. You know, like we said on the last show, usually the play-in merchants, you know, those I don't want to say the word bottom feeders, but the play-in merchants, usually the Bulls, usually the Heat, always trying to fight to get inside the playoffs, you know. And this time the Heat made it, but it was no point. So the Cavaliers came out and handled business, established their dominance. I just hope that they can keep this momentum as they ride through the playoffs, because we've seen it many times where we have a dark horse team dominate the regular season, but when it comes time to perform in the playoffs, they don't happen. A team I'm thinking about is the 2015 Hawks, but you got to give it to them. They ran up against LeBron James, straight up, right? The next series, the Celtics and the Magics. I expected more from the Magic because I know last year, like a lot of people wanted to see that matchup. I personally wanted to see that matchup just because the defensive identity that the Magic brought. But unfortunately, this year, a lot of the key guys are hurt. Jalen Suggs down for the season.
Do you think? Do you think he would have made a significant difference?
Suggs? I think so. The Celtics 1-5, right? I mean the Celtics still gonna win the series regardless. I just honestly see that the Magic pushing it to 6 and making it just a little bit more competitive. And I wanted Paolo to kind of, like take that next stride, but also he was dealing with injury as well. Knicks and Pistons, I called it. I called it from the jump. I said that the Knicks, it was going to go to 6. Knicks winning, though. I was like, yo, this thing really might go to 7. Like, low-key, I was going to tell you guys off the show, but the Zaza Pachulia meme that I had posted, I had that in the drafts. On TikTok, ready to go. I had it in the drafts. But, the Pistons, obviously very inexperienced, and Jalen Brunson, shout out to Jalen Brunson, credit to him. They call him clutch for a reason. He's a clutch player of the year for a reason. So definitely put up. Cat hit some big shots in that series, so but the thing with Cat, like we said off the show, Cat has to be very consistent. He can't have those games where he's fouling out, he's not scoring because like Mikel has been very inconsistent. OG's not playing the way he's been playing it towards the end of the season.
You know what's funny? Julius Randle had a better first round than Anthony Towns.
We're gonna get the Julius Randle. We're gonna
just saying.
But the credit to the Knicks though, like I said, Knicks is 6. And damn, I just drew a blank. What's the next series?
Bucks.
Pacers Bucks. Oh. I kind of knew it was going to go that way too. It's just crazy that it's the unfortunate luck of the Milwaukee Bucks. Unfortunate, man.
Unfortunate.
What you mean unfortunate?
Unfortunate. You mean aside from Dame?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Unfortunate.
They were going to lose regardless. I'm sorry.
You forget how the Bucks one day ringed, and you're talking about unfortunate?
I'm just saying that.
Unfortunate.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Go again.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We go again.
That's right. I'm never going to let that down. I'm telling you. Because that was their championship year. I have to admit it was. Yeah. The way, listen, they were up 45 against Milwaukee in that series.
Okay, man. Like, but all this time, I've never seen a guy box somebody out who's in midair. I don't know. But yeah, continue on. Continue.
Anyway, but unfortunate to Dame getting hurt. I just think that added insult to injury. That was like the nail in the coffin for their season. I did think coming into the series though that the Pacers going to win again. I don't know, like it's over for the Bucks, man. It's over for Giannis, but we'll talk about that soon. But that's just my whole overview of the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said about the East. I do have some. There are some questions now coming out of the first round in the East, and obviously, Cleveland is legit. I mean, that's how you handle business as a 1 seed. Going up against a Miami Heat team that, again, people want to use the Heat culture thing as it's just things have to change in Miami. It is, and then like for Tyler Hero to come out and say, well, if Jimmy Butler was here, no, just don't even bring it up. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
I care about y'all, man.
Milwaukee clearly has some issues, and I know how I feel about the head coaches, specifically that head coach and his assistant. So,
hey, watch it. He had y'all in the WCF.
All of them dudes. I say the right way.
We're gonna talk. Don't do that because I don't want to slander the man, but anyway, we know what matchups and why we. Anyway, Josh is getting me tight. Because I'm about to get in my bag about it. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it alone. And Kyle Kuzma was a clear no-show. To the point where he
had more field
and lost the starting spot.
Goals.
Yeah,
Dude had more fouls than field goals in the series. Like, how do you pull that off?
And that was weird because, the Pacers are a favorable matchup for him in terms of the pace, how they play. He didn't have like a necessary mismatch on defense, so it's just like it was weird, and maybe he needed an adjustment time. I don't know, like.
Why did we expect anything different from Kyle Kuzma? Why did we?
Because we've seen it. We've seen it though. Like we've seen him. Well, no, but I'm just saying, like when he's in the playoff, we've seen him perform to a level that was acceptable, at the very least. And albeit, yes, it is easier when you have LeBron and Anthony Davis at their peaks. I understand that. I'm just saying though, like we didn't see none of that at all. And maybe because he was contaminated in Washington for all these years, I don't know.
To be honest with you, if you get a guy, a wing at that who's shooting 60% for the free throw line, he was shooting lower than that before he got traded. I don't really know what to tell you. I don't really know what to tell you.
It was an all out bad experience of the Kyle Kuzma experiment, and then unfortunate way to end your season the way they did by, allowing a 8-0 run and under 40 seconds of play with the game on the line, with your season on the line.
Seconds left, man.
35 seconds left.
Rec, bro. That's like a 2K rec thing, bro. Like,
yeah.
Me and Josh go so well.
And it's crazy.
You know so well.
It's crazy, and like I was legit like baffled on how that thing, like Jacqueline High for Gary Trent Jr. I mean, he carried the offense, and then literally, like in the midst of it, 2 crucial turnovers. Like it's just like what is going on,
Hey, man, and people like him and Beasley, bro. You see where you are.
Oof. Don't talk about him, man.
What did Draymond say to what's his name? You've been traded 4 times already. Remember what he said?
He said that to Karras. I was traded for stars. I was traded for stars.
So it's unfortunate how not unfortunate, but it's crazy how they ended their season. And obviously, it's unfortunate for Dame and. At his age, having that injury, we know all too well how that injury can devastate a fan base. So he'll bounce back. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this is the end for him. I do think, though, this may be the end for him in Milwaukee. I do envision that was the last time we've seen Dame and possibly Giannis in Milwaukee. Again,
crazy 2 for 1.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for me to say that right now definitively. Like, I think Giannis is out of there, but it is a topic of discussion for sure. And we'll see what happens. And then on to the next series, Boston and Orlando. I mean, listen, Paolo showed for the second straight year in the playoffs that he can perform, but the team constructively they're missing a few things. They need a point guard. I think they need a better center. Outside of Wendell Carter. Jonathan Isaac really didn't give him anything in this series as well. And it's just during their exit meeting they did express that they're going to try to go for it next year, whether it be probably via trade, free agency signing, whatever the case may be. But they need to upgrade that roster and pretty fast. There are way too many guards on that roster. They have bigs that are
same skill set. They don't got nothing.
Yeah. Cole Anthony and Suggs are like
KCP the only one that can shoot.
Right, and they got to get real serious about what they have in Paolo and Franz, you know. And listen, if something's better on the table, and you gotta throw Franz out there. I'm just saying, you know. I'm just saying. You may have to look at that. Just saying. And then obviously Boston did what they were supposed to do. I mean, listen, they're the best starting five. I don't want to give them no more praise. Anyway, we're gonna go on to the Knicks and the Pistons. That by far, aside with the Clippers and Nuggets, were the best 2 first-round series in the playoffs thus far. You know, just dramatics and antics and all types of stuff, and it was great to see. You know, Dennis Schroeder did show up. He is a playoff riser to a certain degree.
Yes.
And
X Factor. He was an X Factor.
Yeah, X Factor. Yes. And we, as a Laker fan, we've experienced Dennis do some heroic stuff for us in the playoffs, and also not show up in the playoffs. In the play-in. You know, so but Dennis has heart. He's a gritty guy. You know, he's always going to help raise the floor of your team somehow, some way. I've always loved Dennis on the Lakers. You know, aside from he didn't know how to throw entry passes to Anthony Davis in the post. But needless to say, you know, Detroit is missing. Obviously, they have some things they have to get around. Like, I personally, like, do you commit to the tandem of Duren and Stewart? Do you commit? Do you commit to Tobias? Do you commit? Obviously, and you got to think Ivy's coming back next year. Like, so you have to integrate him somehow. And
they rookie Merlin, who barely got played.
Right. So you have two guys coming up next year that's gonna have the ball in their hands as well, or be looked at as scorers. It ain't enough wealth. So, you know, they got to shake some things around. But again, it was their first playoff experience. You know, outside of Dennis and Tobias, they'll get to what they need to get to down the line. Bickerstaff, some questionable things he did. You know,
Thompson.
Yeah, like
fourth quarter.
You know,
okay,
like,
okay, JB.
When I don't know if he realized this, but like the minute he took out a sore, Jalen Brunson started going completely off, and you couldn't turn him off after that.
And then on top of that,
and mind you, he started 1 of 10 in the fourth quarter.
Yes,
bro. On top of that, bro, a sore, a SAR.
Yes, a SAR.
I don't know how many plays it was. It was when the Pistons was on that run. He was involved in every defensive play.
Single one.
And all of a sudden, that last stop, he was like, "Yeah, I seen enough. Okay, come out."
He was in a dunking spot. He was running the ring.
Remember, he got the cookies off of Brunson.
Yeah,
went to went to the basket, lay, and I was like, "Hold on."
Yeah.
And it's crazy. We just seen that the night before with his brother Ahmed. Yeah.
And this is why I think he overthought the situation. He thought Tibbs was going to go to hack Thompson.
But also
do it first before you take him out.
Right. But also what he was also trying to do was match offense with offense.
Match offense and defense.
Because what he was trying to do was, okay, like because we're already up. In his mind, he's like, we're already up at this point. Let me just try to capitalize. 7. Yeah, let me just try to capitalize and just pour it on. But no, you have to get stops. You have to get stops. And that's what they did.
Stops and energy. Stops and energy, bro.
The momentum completely flipped. Completely flipped.
I'm seeing why
Cleveland fired. Also, it flipped when that and one from Brunson on Schroeder.
Yeah.
That cut the lead down the floor. And I was like, oh, here we go.
And then, you know, so obviously, you know, and he'll be better, you know, and, you know, at this point, he's a veteran coach, right? You would say.
First year in Detroit, right?
First year with Detroit. I think it's his third year I think he did 3 years in Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken. So,
yeah, he did 3 years.
So, you know, roughly he's going into his 5th year as head coaching.
Did
You know,
a way better job than Monty.
Huh?
Did a way better job
Money
than
was
Monty.
just did a
Money didn't want there. Money didn't want that job.
He didn't want that job. He took it because the money was so lucrative, you know, and quite frankly, he was living off. Sidetrack. Monty got the benefit of the doubt because he just had a finals run. You know what I'm saying? And you know there was such high praise for him and the job he did there. And then you know new ownership came in. Let's get Kevin Durant. You know they lose. I believe they lose in the first round, and then they lose in the second round that year I'm sorry. They beat the Clippers in the first round and they lose in the second round to Denver. So Denver won the chip.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just he wasn't the one that was casting the blame for their failure, right? So like when he got fired, they felt bad because new ownership came in, you know, they made their changes. So Detroit was like, oh, this is a guy that's here. He probably didn't really want the job. He probably just wanted to take a break. And then that money was just so crazy, you can't turn that down. Then on top of that, if you fire me, cool. Guess what? I still get my bread. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I want to congratulate that Detroit owner, though, because a lot of teams would have just tried to stuck it through. Like, we signed him. He was like, you know what? This would be even worse now. Let's get him. I respect the owner.
14 straight losses, bro.
Yeah.
14-game losing streak last season. So,
no, 27.
You know, Detroit.
It was more than
I'm sorry,
27.
It was 27. My bad. Yeah. It was 27. I was thinking, who did that? I was thinking about. It was this year. Somebody did 14.
They beat Toronto.
Yes. Yeah. I was thinking about the Wizards. They did that this year, but you know, listen, Detroit. They're going to be a team to be reckoned with if they build the correct roster around them. I would personally love to see go get Zion.
In Detroit?
You put Zion with Cade. I kind of like that. You know, at the very least, he's going to give you what Durant is giving you at the very least. Yeah. So, you know, and you know, like I said, Detroit. I think they'll be fine down the line if they figure it out. The Knicks. I mean, look, they're the 3rd seed in the East. I think we all collectively can say we don't see them going past the second round. You know, their matchup is Boston. They have a chance. The issue is Karl-Anthony Towns. He cannot play like the 3rd, 4th, 5th best player on the team. He has to be either 1A or number 2 every single night.
Yeah.
Like it has to be. We've seen one game when him and Brunson went off together, and it was just like it was an onslaught of like, yo, there's nothing you can do. I don't know what it is with him, and especially in this series during the season, he struggled against every Boston matchup this year, every single one. He did not perform well. So you know, like I don't know what the remedy is, you know, for them to beat Boston. Obviously, Brunson's going to have to be superhero, but like this is a series, I think, aside from Cat, obviously, that Mikal Bridges has to show up because, and I know we get into predictions earlier, and I'm sorry, but like, and I get Derek White is a good defender, but you have the height advantage over him. I'm sure Derek White is going to be your matchup if Drew Holiday's playing, right? So like, you gotta, bro, you gotta figure it out. 5 picks. 5 picks.
Well, he did have 25 last night, so he kind of made up for a little bit with that block and that dunk.
It was 6 picks?
Yeah.
Whatever it was. But, you know.
It's 5, bro. Don't add
Still a lot.
They added one.
It's 6.
No, it's 5 picks.
It's 5 picks, though.
It's 5. What are you doing?
Josh,
there was 5 picks and some, wasn't there some swaps in there, too?
Telling you, that don't count.
Oh, you're talking about the swaps?
That don't count. The swap don't count now.
Don't be adding extra picks. I ain't give you all that.
And then on top of that, y'all gave us our second round pick back. That's high. Come on, bro.
Leon Rose. Anyway, And people want to talk about Pelinka. I'm just saying Pelinka got Luka for 1 pick. But but no, the Knicks, man, they did what they were supposed to do. They were tested for sure. I think the series should have ended earlier. If Cat would have showed up, I think the Knicks win this in 5, probably a sweep if he shows up. But yeah, that's the East for me, man. I'm sorry I was long-winded on that, but yeah, that's all I got for the East.
Listen, love the East. We saw some East Coast basketball. We saw some physicality. Knicks, I actually gave y'all too much credit because I thought y'all was gonna pummel the Pistons. But I still got the job done. Easy for y'all in the clutch time because outside of Cade, them other guys are scared, bro. Cade did fumble for me in the last game too. Do or die situation. No lazy layups. I hate those. I hate those.
Game. How about
that's when you know you're tired. When you do that, because LeBron and Luka be doing that. Like, all right, you're tired. You just do them. How you miss a bunny?
Yeah. What was you saying, Eric?
I was saying that game 4 finished when K had a chance to get the lead late, and then he had the little skirmish with Tim Hardaway Jr. Didn't get the foul call. So,
K, we just need you to be better. I know you played out your mind, but also shooting, I think 17% from 3 in the whole series.
Yeah,
bro. Even though I know your circumstances, you're playing with people who not hitting their shots. The spacing is not all the way there. You need to be better than that, man. Other than that, you did a great job, K. Next series, Cavs, Heat. We already know, bro. Once Darius Garland in the middle of the series says our game plan is attacking Tyler Hero, we already know. We already know what's gonna happen.
And then after he said that, I'm not playing for the rest of the series. My toe hurt.
Come on, man. That's super disrespectful. But hey, the Cavs could do that because they just a superior team. Celtics, I almost said Mavericks. Celtics Magic. Yes, over the last 2-3 years, the Magic always matched up with the Celtics well, but right now this is a different Celtics team. They know each other so well right now. They coming off the championship high, and the Magic are just dragging themselves to the finish line, kind of. So it's unfortunate. We would love to see a series healthy, like Armani said earlier, but man, the Magic have to make some changes. I know they was trying big last year, trying to get PG. Good thing they didn't get PG.
Yeah, facts. They dodged the bullet.
That would have been crazy. Yo, imagine that. That would have been crazy.
Oh.
On the other hand, they was trying to get Clay, but Clay was like, I'm not going to Orlando. But
they dodged the bullet too.
They should actually continue just to be aggressive to improve this team because you have potential with Paolo and Franz there. Right? So, what's the other series? Oh, the Bucks Pacers. Listen, very. How can I say this? I actually thought the Bucks were going to win because I thought Giannis was just going to dominate. But in this new NBA, just because you have the best player doesn't mean you're going to win the series. Like you said, Kuzma was horrible.
Best players.
Yeah. And then some of these lineups that I saw, like these lineups that the Bucks had out there.
Yo, game 5. You know what the starting 5 was?
Who was it like? Oh, I forgot the point guard name. I was like, who is this guy? And
he started. Yeah. I was like, what? I mean, Doc was trying to look for a needle in a haystack, and all he found was Darvin Ham in his pockets.
Listen, and AJ Green is a good player, but if he's starting for you right now in the playoffs, we already know what's happening. But that series was a little testy, even though it was a 5-game series. It was a little testy, because the Pacers just, we always blame like teams like the Pistons and all that, but the Pacers be starting there with a lot of people too. So the Pacers are kind of feisty, and because you see what happened with
but the reason why
dude's bad, bro, like. Dude's dad is crazy for even doing that. Like, what are you doing?
Hold on, but wait. Did you hear what he said though? He said He said, I wasn't. I had the towel. I wasn't staring at or directing at Giannis. He said I was looking through him.
Wait, what?
So wait.
So that's the stupidest explanation.
Look. Let me ask you a question.
I'm like, the dude is 7'3". You look at like, get out of here, bro.
Do y'all think it was the right call that pretty much the Pacers banned him from coming to the game?
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
Oh, because
You don't do that.
you can
Well,
say
no,
all you
he's not
want.
banned from the games. He's banned from courtside, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or is he banned from the arena?
From the games. From the games.
Oh, how about that? Because I thought it was courtside. Like, yeah, stay your ass upstairs in the
it's
suite.
games.
Games
You
you
gotta
watch
the
on
games.
TV now.
Oh,
watch
he
on
is
TV.
cooked.
Yo, bro. What?
And also, you can't go to road games. You can't go to
And
road
then
games.
he's going head to head with Giannis. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, bro?
Well, Adam Silver, yeah, he David Stern with this one.
Giannis was in everybody's face.
But
Yo.
here's the thing. You know, not to bring this up about Giannis again, who I told y'all he got CTE a year ago. I told y'all this. He's a crash out. He shows y'all every couple months that he's a crash out, and everybody just ignores it because he go in the post game interviews. You're not really a loser in life, but you always win because you know I play basketball for a living. You know, he says,
"What is failure? What is failure? What is this failure?"
And people love it because it sounds so good, but it's not. It's not because he's trying to distract. Remember the Pacers, the one who took his ball, he was running after him. Like, come on, bro. Like, he does a lot of crazy stuff, hurting people. Going crazy. But this one, he was justified because the father was behind him. Like, what you doing in my workspace? Like, but
and Shaq was completely wrong because Shaq was like, "Oh, Giannis is being soft. It comes with the territory." No fan could run on the court
Shaq
and wave a towel. Yeah, exactly.
Shaq would have smacked him.
Exactly. And mind you, Giannis was just standing there. He wasn't bothering nobody. He was just standing there, just watching them celebrate.
He was contemplating and punching him.
Yeah, facts.
Oh yeah,
facts. I should stuff him right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? And for him to be like, well, I was just excited, and I wasn't taunting Giannis. I wasn't even looking at him. I was looking through him. Like, what?
He just made it worse. He made it worse with that. A lot was crazy, bro. Just admit it. Like, I was talking shit. I shouldn't have exactly. I was talking shit. But,
exactly.
That was still an entertaining series because you know it's always great for me as a Brooklyn Nets fan to watch the Milwaukee Bucks rumble because of what they did to us. So I loved it. I love every second of it.
Of course.
And that's me. Eric.
So I'm gonna get the Cavaliers Heat out the way. After game 2, the series was over. I don't know why they took the trip down to Miami. It was basically vacation. They went down to Biscayne Boulevard. They went down to Biscayne Boulevard, had some strawberry daiquiris that weekend, and
Eric, no.
And by Monday night, they were at Wet Willie's by the third quarter. So,
Eric, no.
Yeah. So they dominated the Cavaliers starters. They even played 30 minutes. That's how dominant they were. So they got the work done early. They took the series in
not
4.
playing your starters 30 minutes and still waxing. Like, come on, bro.
That's no, like, never heard of any of that before. Like, what? So yeah, and they'll be well rested. And the Pacers start Sunday, so that's going to be an interesting series between those two. The Pacers beat the Cavaliers 3 out of 4, but we'll see. Celtics Magic. I thought the Magic kind of beat up the Celtics a little bit because he had Tatum with the wrist, went down for game 1. Drew Holiday missed the last 2 games of that series with a hamstring. Porzingis got that nasty cut from the elbow from what's his name? The center for the Magic. Batase had a deep gash.
Yo, Eric, did you just admit you put out a hit on them?
I mean, you know, they would do a little.
Yo.
I mean, that's what happened. That's what I saw. But you knew that the Magic didn't have enough offensively to compete with the Celtics. There were games in the series where the Magic were in it. Game 1 and that's game 2 and game 5. Actually, games 2, 4, and 5, the Magic were in the first half, and then the Celtics, especially in that fourth quarter, in game 4, Magic had a chance to take control of that series. Tied at 91, but Magic went on a 16-1 run to basically end the series, and then the last game, game 5, it was tied. It was down 1 at halftime, and then Celtics outscored them by 30 to win that game and win that series. So, of a typical home win for the Celtics, and they went in 5, and they got some rest going to Mondays against the Knicks. Pacers Bucks. Those two teams don't like each other. We all saw it. Especially after game 1 when Dame and Halliburton were chirping at each other. Game 2, you had you also have more of that with Bobby Portis. Game 3, Giannis finally got help from Gary Trent, who scored 35. And then game 4 was when basically the series ended with Dame going down with the Achilles. And then game 5, the overtime, which the Bucks had a 20-point lead in the first half. Giannis was dominating, and then Pacers chipped away. Got into overtime. Bucks had an 8-point lead with 30 seconds left. Gary Trent almost took them home again, and then they basically self-destructed in the last 30 seconds with 2 turnovers, and then Halliburton took them home. Pacers win it.
And also not Halliburton, well, not Carlisle calling out the play to ISO Giannis like that.
Yeah.
No one because if that was Luka, I'm just saying if that was Luka that got blown by like that, it'd be like, well, you see, this is why, as Kendrick Perkins would say, he's the worst defensive superstar we've ever seen in NBA history.
He is. Both things could be true. Yeah, he is.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna do my research on that. I don't know. I think it's a bit hyperbole, but I'm just saying if that was someone else besides Giannis, they'll get crucified. But like the media's been quiet on that. Like
I like smoothies and Oreos.
Giannis had 30, 20, 12, 2 and 2, and still didn't get the job done, bro. That's
you said he had 30,
20, 20, 12, 2 and 2.
Yo, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, Armani, about that? You know what's wild about that, bro? If another player had that stat,
I was just about to say that.
They would have been like, "Oh my gosh, the greatest player in the world!" Oh.
No, but you didn't hear the other night when he had 16 points, about like 14 assists or rebounds and 12.
Yeah.
And it was like, you see, he puts up a triple double. And I'm just like, yo, like he struggled all game long. No, like
I love Jokic, bro, but this
and not for nothing, he's been having a terrible series this year. Like his impact has been quiet, super quiet.
Shout out to Zoo, man.
But yeah,
and so the Pacers end that series back on Tuesday, and the Pacers and Cavaliers will start Sunday, the second round series. Knicks Pistons, probably the best series besides the Nuggets and Clippers in the West. So how about this? The Knicks 3 wins in Detroit. First time that the Knicks won 3 games in the playoff series in their franchise history, and the total amount of wins was combined by 6 points in Detroit. They lose 2 home games in this series, but they win all 3 games in Detroit by combined 6 points. Wow. This was the battle of the 2 main superstars. There were some people in the media saying that Cade Cunningham was the best player in the series, and Chris Canty and David Dennis Jr. Yes, I'm calling y'all out. Yeah, so they said before that series, they're saying Cade Cunningham was the best player in the series, not knowing that they forgot what Jalen Brunson did last year and the year before, and they just don't learn their lesson.
And this is why
Talk shit at me.
Facts, because this is like it is true, and this is why like Josh, like I be crashing out on X, like I be crashing out. Y'all be seeing the post because like it's just stupid stuff like that, and it's just like, where do y'all get that from? Like what made y'all surmise?
You know where they get it from? Is the community, the NBA. Some of these fans just look at PRA, points, rebounds, assists, and just think this player is so good because he gets this much of points, rebounds, and assists. That's not how you equate basketball. Yes, I like K. K is a good basketball player. But if you think he's better than Brunson, you are not evaluating the game properly.
We've seen Jalen Brunson. We've seen Jalen Brunson carry a Dallas Maverick team to the Western Conference Finals, where he was the best player and at times the only player because Luka was hurt during that playoff run. Carry them until Luka took him home. Like we seen what Jalen Brunson did last year. Like what he averaged damn near 38 last year in the playoffs, and clutch moment after clutch moment after.
Yeah, even when he was down and out, he would come back, man.
He was the first player since Mike.
First place since who?
So he was the first. So last year he was the first player to score 40 points in 4 straight playoff games. As Michael Jordan did it in 1993. This year he was the first player since Michael Jordan to score 30 points in the first 4 playoff games since Michael Jordan back in 1998. He scored over 6. And he scored over 67 points in clutch points in the entire series. Dude averaged 15. Dude averaged 15 points in the fourth quarter this series. That's just insane.
Yo, and you know what's crazy? Jalen Brunson averaged more points in the fourth quarter than the Los Angeles Lakers did in the fourth quarter of the Timberwolves series.
Yo.
Like think about this. Think about this. We're not that comparison with Mike. That's not 85 Mike. That's not 88 Mike. This is peak power 93 Mike. Like
wait. Michael Jordan?
Yes.
Like where's LeBron in that?
I'm
playing. That's crazy. Wow, he just turned into Skip Bayless real quick, guys. I'm sorry. That was nasty work.
I'm trolling.
That's all right. Them SUVs gonna be outside.
They gonna kill me in the TikTok comments, bro.
So this was
very equipment.
So this
make podcast equipment illegal. Shut up.
So this Knicks Pistons series was real physical. 2 teams went at it. There's a lot of chirpiness, a lot of talking. Mikal Beasley, like he did a lot of talking on Knicks while he was averaging like 10 points a game and didn't show up in those fourth quarters, especially last night.
It's the thing with the Beasley thing. Beasley believed he could talk like that is because the person he was talking about. Because the person he was talking about is soft. The league thinks it, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like, he didn't try to go after Brunson. He didn't say Josh Hart, who had a trash series. He didn't try to go after nobody else. He just was like, this guy. All this, I'm like, yo, why you zeroing in on him, bro? Like,
well, that guy outplayed him last night, so he showed up at least. So shouts to Mikal Bridges, 25 points last night, and on K last night with that dunk. Karl Anthony Towns, he had 2 good games. Game 1, he had 23 and 12. Game 4, he had that monster 27-point games, including those 2 big jumpers late in the game, the baseline turnaround fadeaway jumper, and that dagger 3 from the logo to end it to win Game 4. I thought Cade Cunningham with his first playoff, it was a really good showing for him. Averaged over 25 points, almost averaged near a triple double with 25 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. But the turnovers killed him. do average 7 turnovers during this series, especially in games 3, 4, and 6. Those were the where the inexperience and the turnovers really hurt them. Like I mentioned before, the Knicks beat the Pistons all 3 times in Detroit by a combined 6 points, which meant that the Pistons had chances in the fourth quarter to not only win the game, but actually win the series. That's how close it was.
Yep.
I thought there was and also to deep dive into the series, the Knicks bench, it was an absolute zero. Deuce McBride, ice cold. Campaign had that one good game in game 1. Other than that,
I believe you guys were the worst team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
With points, with bench scoring. The Lakers were the second worst. So
yeah, because y'all didn't play them.
No, it's not that, but they did. It was a no-show. Oh, you know what?
Are you insinuating that I don't check it with my assistant head coaches? he was about to crash out.
Yo, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But just to wrap up this series. Third straight year Knicks win the first round, win the playoff series. So they start Monday against the Boston Celtics. Hoping and praying they make it competitive, and it's house money series for the Knicks because as we all as if y'all seen, the Celtics are a huge favorite at -900 to win the series. So not surprised by that.
Damn.
We'll start Monday. So yes. The Knicks are plus 500. The Knicks are plus 550. The Celtics are -900.
What?
Yeah. So it could get real ugly right quick if things don't are not competitive enough. So we'll see. But who knows? Maybe Brunson puts on this double time and then steals some games in the series, and who knows? But we'll see.
It's not enough. Turn the TV off. It's gonna get ugly. I'm sorry, brother. Listen. It's gonna
give me a split in Boston, bro. Just give me a split.
You're asking for a lot.
I don't care. I don't care, man. I don't care.
I don't see no world. Y'all gonna get swept, man. It is what it is.
Sweepers OD there. They could win the game. Maybe 2. They could probably win a 2. They could probably win 2 games.
I'm gonna say sweep because I get it. The regular season, you can't really equate regular season games to playoff games. It's totally 2 different atmospheres, 2 different games rather.
Should we just go into the average? Should we just go into predictions now since we on it? Just for the
we got to do the West. Also, we got to do the West. Yeah. So
I mean, we can predict the East, and then we'll do the rest. The West recap, and then we'll predict the West.
Yeah.
So with you got Cleveland versus Indiana.
I got Cleveland in 5.
I got Cleveland in 6.
I got Cleveland in 6 also.
Yeah. I think the theme is the first team to 120 wins each game. That's how it's going to go. So
that Cleveland defense, though,
that Cleveland defense is legit.
And I know.
Why?
And they can make it really difficult. Like Halliburton's going to have to actually guard in this series. Yeah. Like he has to guard.
You can't hide.
Yeah,
It's crazy enough that a 6'6" guard has to hide on defense. Like, do you know how insane that is?
Bro? And look he's the same makeup as Shea. And Shea's a defender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just Halliburton.
That's
like
what he
can't
in the league as.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is too, all that talking that they do really not going to phase the Cavs. They don't engage in like that. Like they don't engage. Like what Jared Allen, like he won't bust a grape in a fruit fight. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just Mobley's quiet. They're gonna get pushed, yes, but they're not gonna engage the way Milwaukee did. Milwaukee had probably felt as if like, well, there's nothing else we can do but try to fight them and and muck the game up. So yeah, Indiana, they're gonna put up some points, but it's gonna be difficult for them because those guys are gonna have to really guard. And like, do you go because Indiana's starting 5 is Miles Turner at the 5. Their 4 is Pascal Siakam. Then you have Nesmith, right?
Smith,
Nembhard and Halliburton.
Yeah.
You got those 2 bigs out there for Cleveland. Who boxing them out? Miles Turner. I mean, yeah, but like if he's playing on the wing, I'm just and then Cleveland could go. Obviously, they're 2 bigs, and then they have Go ahead. What you about to say?
And then you forget about Ty Jerome off the bench.
Oh yeah,
right. Ty Jerome.
And then not only New York stand up, man. That's my
not only Ty Jerome, you also have DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's man, I don't know.
And they also got Max Strus. Don't forget that.
Yeah. So I think this series, Donovan, we're going to see kill.
Peak Donovan. Yeah.
I think we're going to see that Donovan. He better. He better.
They gonna need it.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need it. Next series we have obviously Knicks and Celtics. I mean, listen, like I said, I think the Knicks are. I think. Listen, I'm not going to be that disrespectful. Like the Garden, the Battle of the Garden, right? Boston Garden and Madison Square Garden. But the Garden, we know the Mecca. Like it's a different atmosphere. Boston's coming in town. Like Detroit was a thing, but like Boston is. This is a city versus city thing. I'm not going to be disrespectful and say sweep. No. Ultimately, I do think the Knicks probably get 1. Like, it's hard for me to say that this series is extended to 6 or 7. It's just Karl-Anthony Towns, to me, man, has to be the guy. Like, Brunson's going to do him, but they're going to throw multiple bodies at him. Drew's going to be a pest. That Tatum's going to take a shot at him. Brown's going to take a shot at him. Pat is the one that's going to have to carry while Brunson, fills in. And then, to me, the most important player in this series for the Knicks is Mikal Bridges. It's Mikal Bridges. Because if Derek White is going to be your matchup, you have to take advantage of that. I'm sorry. You have to. And I get Derek White is a great defender, right? But, like, you have to show up this series.
You can't really hunt that team. That was the issue with the Mavericks last year. They couldn't hunt.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna say Celtics in 5 for now. But yeah, that's where I'm leaning right now.
I got Celtics, man.
You said what, Josh?
I got Celtics, man. I got Celtics in 5. I
got Celtics in 5.
My only thing is, I'm sorry, Eric. This is 2 hard choices for me to pick from because I do not like the Celtics, and
facts. I'm a Laker fan. I cannot stand the Celtics.
And y'all the Knicks. Brooklyn stand up, but like, bro, like the Pistons winning 2 games in the Garden kind of troubles me a little bit. Like they wasn't supposed to get those 2 wins in the Garden, so.
And what's crazy too, Josh, I don't know if you noticed, Eric, I'm sure you do. Y'all go on these droughts without scoring, which is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense
like that. It makes no sense. Like
it makes no when y'all lost the lead against Detroit last night, y'all went like 3 minutes.
I can't.
3 minutes without scoring the basketball, and I'm like, you do that against Boston, you're getting blitzed. You like they putting up 50 to 63s, like.
And this is how I think the Knicks could steal games if Boston is shooting too much threes, and the Knicks just stay focused. Like, no, we'll just do our goal. That's how I think the Knicks are gonna win.
Get to the basket. Like Cat, and this is why I say Cat can't get trigger happy from the 3-point line because Porzingis is putting up threes, and Tatum is putting up threes, and Derek White is putting up threes. And here's another thing that's going to be really important. Peyton Pritchard coming off that bench. Deuce McBride, hey brother, you got to produce this series. You got to produce this series because if you're saying, yo, campaign, we're gonna need you to match the production of Peyton Pritchard, you're cooked. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Deuce McBride's gonna have to show up off the bench for you guys, big time in this series. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, so I got Celtics at 5. Eric, just say it, man.
I'm going
say Knicks in 7, bro.
Going 6. I'm going Celtics in 6.
What?
Listen.
You like video?
What?
He didn't even like say Knicks in 7. Like,
I gotta be real. Like, okay, like
you know what? That's one thing. You're not delusional like me because you know I had Lakers waiting to chip this year.
You said the Lakers are gonna win in 5.
I did.
He said 6.
But I did say Celtics was gonna win the chip though. I did. This is our 08 year, you know.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got the Celtics winning in 6 games. Yeah, I don't like saying that. But yeah,
you sound so sad.
I just hate the fact that no, because it's like because like coming off of last night. I know the way that they had to like really squeak out that win in Detroit. It's like damn.
It's like
Carson really had to carry this Knicks team, and then they should have won the series in 5. But if the Celtics are going to like take 43s a game and make half of them, they're going to be cooked because they're not that good in 3-point defense. First of all,
y'all were the worst 3-point defensive team in the league this past season. So.
Yeah, exactly. So if the Celtics are going to make half of their threes and they're going to shoot 43s a game and then make half of them, Knicks are going to get cooked.
Especially if Cat is not showing up. Yeah,
exactly. Karl Anthony Towns. I need you to average 30 in the series. No, bro. Right. So you have to put them to have a chance. To the Knicks to have an absolute
30?
chance. I'm sorry, but yo, like
30.
He might listen. Last year he was in the same round. They went up against the defending champ, the Denver Nuggets. I mean, stranger things have happened.
He didn't average 30 though.
No, but
I mean, you got Ant-Man, you know.
Yeah,
Ant-Man was wild.
But yeah, I'm just saying because now you got a talented roster with more offensive options. Mikal Bridges, he's got to give me 25 or 20 points a game. OG, he's got to give me 18. Brunson.
Chill, wait, it's not that deep. Wait. Yeah, you don't need all that. You don't need all that.
30 from Cat, 25 from Mikal.
Hey, man.
So what's Brunson gonna average? 17?
No.
So wait.
Listen. It's all hands on deck from here on out. Okay. It's all hands on deck. Okay. This Celtics team could average 120 and 3/4.
Josh Hart got to average 20 and 10. So like no exceptions, baby. You know what I'm saying? Mitchell Robinson got to average a double-double off the bench, 14 and 14.
Hey, it's all hands on deck from here on out starting Monday, okay?
Tibbs got to look like Phil Jackson on Monday. Like, it is what it is, man.
Hey, listen. Tibbs is on the clock, bro. If they get swept, yo.
You serious?
Josh, what did I text you? I'm telling you, Mike Malone, he's just waiting at the door,
bro. I did not want Mike Malone. No, I had Nugget fans tell me about he's Tibbs Rocky Mountain. Okay, so nah.
Yo,
Angel, come on, bro. You know about Mike Malone. Come on.
Listen.
Next series, man. Next series.
So yeah. And also, let me Cavaliers Pacers. Yeah, I got the Cavaliers in 6 over the Pacers. I think the Cavaliers offense is like I just think the Cavaliers was way too of a complete
Eric,
team.
I'm sorry to cut you off real quick, but the reason why I said Mike Malone, look who he's represented by. And
I know, yes.
Together.
And him and Tibbs are like this. They're buddy. I know. So
Just saying.
Oh gosh. Anyway, Cavaliers Pacers got Cavaliers in 6. It's gonna come down to if the Pacers can keep up with the offensive intensity with the Cavaliers efficiency, because if the Pacers are going to go onto these droughts, it'll be over quickly. Also, who on the Pacer bench is going to match the firepower from the Cavaliers bench? So I know that TJ McConnell, he can like give him like a couple of a good 20 minutes, but he's got to score. You tell me Thomas Bryant, Obi Toppin, yeah, I'm sorry. That Pacers starting 5. He Tyrese Halliburton, I know he was a star in that series against the Bucks. Yeah, bro, he's gonna have to like bring it more against that Cavaliers team. Ben Mathurin, all of them, because if the Cavaliers starters are playing less minutes and if the Cavaliers are winning games by 30 points and playing their starters 25 minutes, they're getting cooked. Yeah. Even though the Pacers won 3 out of 4 in the regular season. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I agree. On to the West now. As we know,
let's move on.
The first let's start with the first series. We're going to start with OKC, Oklahoma City Thunder. Swept the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah. Okay, bro. Okay. They swept the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, apparently, Ja did say if he wasn't hurt, it'd been different. He had them figured out. Especially the game they were up 30 and they lost that game.
But he was healthy in game 1.
Yeah, he was healthy in game 2 as well. Memphis has a lot of questions they have to address this offseason. You have Jaren Jackson Jr., who, is up for an extension, up north of $350 million, around that.
Hell no.
For a guy that doesn't rebound.
Hell no.
And fouls out a lot. I mean, I don't know.
With Triple J.
Obviously you have Ja and what's that going to look like? And getting rid of their head coach and Taylor Jenkins. They just made the interim head coach their head coach today. I forget how to pronounce his name.
Ilya Silva or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Memphis got a lot of questions. It's just the whole team makeup doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all to me. So, I mean, it is what it is. I didn't expect them to put up really much of a fight against OKC anyway. And they've been resting for about a week and a half now. And then now, go on to the other series that ended. And then so now we so now we got the Warriors tonight. And no, let me stop playing. The Lakers. The Los
Superman Lakers in 5.
The Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, listen, a bludgeoning, I would say. Did I believe we had a chance in this series before the series started? Absolutely. Going into the playoffs, we were riding pretty hot. And we were able to obtain the 3rd seed. And the draw was either Minnesota or Golden State. And I felt okay with how the season was going for Minnesota. I felt okay with that matchup. What I made a mistake about was the lack of depth that we were devoided was so glaring. And I get the no center thing. Like that I understood. And I was like, we're gonna struggle naturally without a center. We're just gonna struggle.
I'm gonna say this. Josh said it early in the season. He said that the Timberwolves might have had the best bench in the league. Not saying that they do, but compared to what we had,
yes, that's a fact. He did say that.
How are we gonna win? How are we gonna win the non-Luka minutes, the non-Braun minutes when they're on the floor and the Wolves know that? They know that we're not gonna get a scoring output from Gabe Vincent. They know Jackson Hayes is not scoring. You know what I mean? They know Reeves is in a funk. So if you know that, all you got to do is send Alexander Walker, McDaniels, Nas Reed. Look at that firepower they got coming off the bench.
And what they did was, which was very smart of them, obviously. And every team's gonna do it. But Luka, you're on the floor. Okay, you're gonna carry the offensive load. Cool. It's gonna be tough to guard you, but guess what? We're gonna put you in every single action. On the defensive end.
That's exactly what they did.
They were hunting Luka every single possession on defense.
No, it wasn't even just Luka they were hunting. They were also hunting Austin Reeves.
Every time.
They were hunting Austin Reeves. Look, if you look at Ant-Man's possessions, it was either get Luka or get Austin. Because what they're going to do is they're going to send the help. Once they send the help, because they know I can get past these guys, now I have Nas Reed wide open for a 3, or I have Naw open for a 3, or I have Conley open for a 3, or I have McDaniels open for a 3. Dude, McDaniels set career highs in the playoffs for himself.
25. Yeah, 25 in game 4.
30.
He had 30 one night.
And then Julius, he was bully balling everybody.
And Julius, shout out to Julius Randle, because listen, there was a little bit of course, because there's history between the Lakers and Julius Randle, but
he over that, bro.
But look at his averages after he left the Lakers and he plays against the Lakers. Look at his averages. There's a point. There's a point there.
Fair.
And again, he also understood there's only one person on the court that can probably impede my drive to the basket, and that's LeBron, and he's 40. Yeah. Everybody else on that floor, I'm just going to put a shoulder down, and then no one's going to stop me at the basket. They don't have a big, and they don't have strong wing defenders that can push me off the line.
Yep.
The only strong wing defender we had was probably Jared Vanderbilt, and what he did was just muck the game up. It wasn't like he was like locking down. Like Ant shot 1 for 11. When he was in game 4.
Game 1?
No.
Yeah, you're right.
And but if you look at the time of possession that throughout the series that Vanderbilt was guarding Ant-Man, it was less than 5 minutes. So he wasn't even averaging like that. And that was my whole and we'll get to JJ, but some of my issues with JJ was you're not seeing this stuff here. Like, if he's struggling against one-on-one coverage with Jared Vanderbilt, that's great, because now we can contain at least Ant. Yeah. He doesn't have to get you don't have to send the double, and you got guys open because guys are stunting to double or Lakers smoke, which you want to call it. Like Kyrie and Kyrie. I saw this video yesterday. It was pretty. Him and Phil Handy had broke down how the defense of the Lakers was trying to contain Ant, and why Ant was confused after game 1 game 2, where he was confused about how the Lakers were playing defense, and it's called Lakers smoke. Every team has that play, because Cavaliers smoke, whatever. But it's like when you have coverage at the top, and then the wing defender is basically shading or stunting rather to
quasi-zone, right?
Right, quasi zone or it's a smoke screen to send a double team, right? Mm-hmm. So what Lakers were doing, they were doing a lot of that because you had Ant-Man was getting Luka or Austin Reeves on the switch. So now it's just like, okay, I know I can get past him. Now the defender has to stunt or send a smoke over, which leaves Naz Reid open in the corner, open for a 3. Ant-Man's getting downhill. And then on top of that, there's no big to contain the basket. You have Dorian Finney-Smith playing center. It's a recipe for disaster. Yeah. So,
and then Rudy
shout out to the
Gobert
Timberwolves. Yeah.
And Rudy Gobert just, oof.
Yeah, that was bad.
And said Rudy had 30.
That's how you know it's bad, right?
Yes.
So, Austin Reeves had a terrible series. And this has been the thing with him. Austin, every time he's matched up against a athletic wing defender, he struggles mightily. It happens a lot. If you look at, there's a reason why we're 0-2 against the Cavs. There's a reason why we're 0-2 against the Pistons. There's a reason why we're 0-2 against the Nets. Like wing defenders bother him.
What?
They just do.
He named us in that?
Yeah, I did.
Just spitball.
So listen, at the end of the day, shout out to the Wolves. They did what they were supposed to do. They took care of business and put the Lakers in their misery. The next series, obviously, we have 2 series that's still going on. We have a Game 7 that is going to be tomorrow between the Los Angeles Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. That series has been phenomenal. That dunk by Aaron Gordon at the buzzer was crazy.
After having a 22-point lead and they were down late in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
Like that game for me no sense.
That shit was still on his finger, but I guess, bro. That shit was still on his finger.
It's hard to tell.
It was just in the net still.
But you know what's crazy? How come they didn't pull out the 4K Skyview camera like they had on Braun that they couldn't do for that game?
They don't got that tech in Denver, bro.
I was in LA. It was an Intuit Dome.
Bro, yeah, facts. The newest arena.
It's crazy. Like high tech. Come on, man.
Yeah.
But that
listen. That was insane, bro. That reminded me of when 2 things that came up when I thought about that. When Derek White had that putback layup to win the game.
Oh yeah,
It was Game 7, and then I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, yo, what else reminded me of that? And then I couldn't think of anything. Then I seen the video the following day, DeAndre Ayton, when he had the dunk
against the Clippers.
Right.
That was crazy.
That was crazy too.
Games you do only because this is get forgotten in history. Trevor Booker in the regular season, he just that was crazy. It wasn't a game winner, but it was like a buzzer beater and
won the game.
You know what else was crazy too? Remember Mo Peterson? Remember that flick 3 he did against the Wizards? And, so I mean that was one of the honestly, but that one was one of the craziest ones.
I thought Jokic was about to hit that shot. I thought he was gonna hit that shit. Honestly, I'm like, yo, watch him hit this, bro.
That's why the Clippers didn't box out. They were shocked. Like,
well, they sent Zubac and Kawhi at him on a fadeaway 3.
Out of respect, bro. Out of respect.
If it was the Lakers, he's making that.
But James Harden didn't box out, but no one's gonna say anything.
We know what he is.
He was hooping last game.
He hooped game 6 though.
He hoops every 3 games. He hoops every 3 games, bro.
All right. Tomorrow's game 7, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what game 7. And then tonight, game 6.
So since we're on the topic, who do y'all have winning game 7? Clippers or
I still like the Clippers.
I'm gonna go with Denver. I'm gonna go with Denver.
I gotta go with my son Kawhi, bro. I need another buzzer beater.
Yeah, I still like the Clippers.
I need another historic buzzer.
But you know what's crazy? OKC is smiling right now.
They're like literally sitting there for the last week and a half. It's like, we smoke
because both Denver and the Clippers have flaws, like legit, and OKC is like, we're gonna take these guys to the shed, I think so. But I'm gonna go with Denver. They're at home. I'm gonna just go with Denver.
Watch
Jokic has to have one of one of those FU games like 20. He did, like we had like the 40 and 20 and all that. He has to have one of those. And honestly, bro, like Russ has been playing extremely well this series. I want to see him succeed. So like,
oh my god,
what's the problem? What's the problem?
And look,
he's been playing well in series. He not
needs to have a game that he had in Game 5. Not to that magnitude, but what he had.
Jamal Murray,
like that. But like, even if you drop 30, bro, like, because he hasn't had a good series at all either.
Well, Michael Porter Jr. has to show up.
Because he's dealing with that injury. So
the shoulder injury.
Yeah.
And then obviously tonight we got Game 6. You going with the Clippers?
Yeah, going with why?
Why not? I'm going with why not?
Hey.
And then tonight we have Game 6 of the Warriors and the Rockets.
I think the Warriors finish it.
I'm going with the Rockets tonight. I'm going with the Rockets tonight. The basketball gods are not going to bless them for what they did. Game 5. I'm sorry. You don't pull your starters out at the beginning of the third quarter or the top of the third quarter and just mail it in because you feel like, whatever. Nah, man. Nah. They don't deserve to see heaven for that.
Also, if you really think about it, Rockets should have won Game 4. It would have been a totally different series. Think about it.
Yeah.
If they make their free throws, that's the problem with the Rockets series.
Free throws and Jalen Green shows up.
Yeah.
Can we just forget about that one? Let's forget about
he showed up.
Let's forget about Jalen Green.
Look,
it's his first time in the playoffs, though.
But this is absolutely terrible. Listen, bro. It was Cade first time, and what he do? What can he do in his first time?
Yeah, no, I get you. I know what Cade did. We've seen it. We seen what Paulo did.
And who has a better team?
I got you. I got you on that.
I have a major problem with Jalen Green. He's too inconsistent for me, and he's just showing it why the Rockets should trade him this summer. So, I just throw that out the window. They need a Van Fleet game. Forget Jalen Green because we don't know.
He's been hooping.
And what did I tell y'all? Remember what I texted y'all a couple months ago? If the Rockets have to depend on Fred VanVleet, I cannot trust them in the playoffs. And look at how this series is going.
Yeah.
Also, Amin Thompson he's got to show up like he did in Game 5.
Offensively, he has to show up.
Yes, offensively, yes. I need him 22 to 25 points. Yeah.
He's going to show defensively, but offensively.
Also,
this might be a Dylan Brooks game, though.
How much?
Yeah. 25.
Just saying. Dylan Brooks.
You're going to need it.
25?
Hold on.
A lot of points for everybody, Eric.
Yeah, give me a smooth 12, Dylan.
I don't want no damn 12 points.
4 threes.
Give me a couple threes, a tech, because you got a little tussle. You know what I'm saying? But what I mean by Dylan Brooks game, I don't mean by points. I mean by like impact. Like he has to be a pest and a nuisance. He has to lay it out on the line.
You said go after those ankles.
Yeah.
Bro, Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then you had Steve Kerr saying, "Oh well, they're not supposed to do that. I have to ask the league if they can take a look into that."
Still, I'm tired of Steve, bro.
Because he got the number one crash out on his team, bro. But he be blind to the bullshit. So whatever, man.
Yeah.
Just be with that.
Man. Yeah, and that's another thing that pisses me off. Like Draymond, the least he has is I've never like what they did in game. Like no other. What they did in game
4.
3? It was game 4, where he got the first tech, and then he was supposed to get the second tech, but instead of them giving him a tech, they gave him a flagrant foul.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm sorry. What? Like that's just nasty.
Even the commentators was confused. They was like, all right, Draymond's done for the night, but they was like, wait, what? Why is he still on the bench? Like, that was confusing, man.
Yeah. I wish LeBron got that whistle.
Oh
yeah. But yeah, I think all in all, man, for the totality of the series, I got Rockets tonight. But ultimately, since I have Denver going on to the next round, I have OKC beating them in 6. I'm just saying. If Denver wins tomorrow, they'll play OKC, and I have OKC winning that series in 6 games.
I got OKC beating whoever come out this round.
Listen, man.
Thunder Clippers.
Why not? Kawhi he's gonna get them over the hump.
What hump?
I can't even say it. I can't artist on the stage. I can't even say it.
He gonna make it to the WCF?
OKC is gonna beat them in 5, bro. I wanted to say
WCF?
it. Nah, because Powell's been terrible. And Harden, like I said, every 3 games he shows up. So I can't even say that confidently, man.
And then Minnesota.
Shout out Batum though.
Yeah, he saved him last night.
I have Minnesota beating Golden State.
Yeah, ultimately I have Golden State. I have Golden State winning this series. I do, even though I have Rockets winning tonight. I just want a Game 7 for chaos. But
hate watching.
Yeah. And I just got to see Warriors fans cry tonight.
Yeah.
I'm leaving here with something.
Spaces.
But ultimately, I have
not the Celtics, not the Clippers, not the Nuggets, not the Warriors.
Yeah, everybody else is fine.
Fine.
Yeah, everyone else is fine. But yeah, I have Warriors winning this series.
Like I said last year, the Lakers started in Minnesota.
Oh nah, that is so nasty.
Turn me up 5. Turn me up 5.
Take me there, 5. Take me there, 5.
That is
listen. I'm an Ant-Man stand for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah. Take me there, 5.
He's the best player in the NBA right now. I'm sorry. He took down the 2 best players in the league. So now we have I just want to see a thing. I'm trolling. The Rockets. I have the Warriors winning in 7, and then I have Minnesota beating the Warriors in 5 games.
And we need that. You know why we need that? Because this is how Ant-Man's gonna cement his name as Randy Orton, the legend killer.
The legend killer.
I like that.
I need that. I need that.
Also, I need that Rudy Gobert Draymond Green matchup.
I like that.
Yeah. I think and remember, Ant-Man did say when they asked him, they said, what's the one player you want to play in the playoffs? He said the Warriors because Draymond talks too much. That's what he said. I want that. Like
that was last year. That was
yeah. So like for Ant-Man to have Jokic, KD, Book, Murray, LeBron, Luka on his mantle.
All right, you didn't have to say Murray. Let's be real.
I mean, I just threw him in there because
so
playoff Murray's a thing.
Somebody threw a bill. Y'all know that picture that got all to do with the
yeah. Somebody said that and put like, he took out Bradley Beal. Like, what is he doing here? I'm like, come on, bro.
Yeah, I saw that. I can't believe he said Bradley Beal.
I'm like, come on. But yeah. So yeah, ultimately in the conference finals, I have Cavs versus Celtics and OKC versus Minnesota. Second straight year for Ant-Man going to the Western Conference Finals as well.
Yeah. And this is year 5.
Year 5.
Oh man.
Yo, so like, think about it.
Jordan.
Tatum, right? What year he got to the conference finals his rookie year?
2018.
Or was it his second year?
No, his
rookie
year. Rookie year.
He dunked on Braun.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was his first year.
2018. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Tatum always been in the limelight. People just don't like him because of that.
yeah.
Corny. But Tatum,
but also I think too with Tatum, and the reason why I brought up Tatum in comparison to Ant-Man was because Tatum has had a better supporting cast around him since he's got into the league.
Absolutely.
Versus Ant-Man, who hasn't until like now.
Yeah.
You know, and Ant-Man, if he makes a fifth year, second appearance in the Western Conference Finals is in the West that's stacked like this, tip your cap, man. Tip your cap. Now, as you know, we recap the playoffs. That was a long segment, but great stuff, I think.
Right.
NBA winners, the award winners, season award winners, man, and you know, obviously.
Hold on, before we say anything, y'all was talking about, well, not y'all, but you know, shout out to the people who watch the show. We greatly appreciate it. All feedback is welcome. But y'all was like, y'all need to turn to your podcast equipment. Y'all need to make podcast equipment illegal. Draymond is a DPOI. Bro, we wasn't saying that. We were saying that out of nowhere, he became the number one option to win the award. We were saying that you had somebody like Dyson Daniels and Evan Mobley who's been doing that the entire year. So, all right, even though Dyson Daniels did not get the award because it was the argument of how can we give it, like Josh, I know you had that argument with the person, like how are we going to award somebody who's in the play-in, the defensive player of the year? Fine, scrap that. Scrap Dyson Daniels. We gave it to the player who was damn near number one in the conference the entire year, and Evan Mobley. He backed him up.
And the team had a top defense.
Top defense. So, come on, man.
Not giving it to somebody who had a great last 2 months, bro. Like that's not how
it works.
Yeah. And on top of that, he was publicly pushing it as like it wasn't like don't get me wrong, Draymond's a great defender, but like it wasn't like it was that impact was loud throughout the year. You talked that into existence. I'm like, how did he jump to number one?
Right.
So yeah. But since we're on the award, obviously Evan Mobley won Defensive Player of the Year. Well deserved. Obviously, then we have for most improved, Dyson Daniels.
Yep.
Won that award.
Right. He back.
Yeah, they did. They did get it right.
After we looked at the odds and seen that Cade wasn't the favorite no more, I knew Dyson Daniels was gonna get it. Like we said, he improved in every statistic category. Like 3 steals is impressive. Impressive.
And people still complain. I saw people still complain, like, yo, they still gave it to lottery player. But look, this is an exception because this lottery player didn't play. He was a throw-in in a trade. In New Orleans, I don't know what happened over there, but he didn't have a chance to get on court. And when he was on court, it wasn't to this level. So you have to have him.
See the shorty Zion. You know, y'all see what he doing, man. So
come on,
that's what a voodoo be happening, but yeah, though. Shout out to Dyson Daniels, well deserved. He's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, so absolutely well deserved.
Yeah. Stephon Castle has won the Rookie of the Year, which was, you know, I think that was far and away. Zachary Risache, he started to develop later down the line. Same thing with Alex Sarr, you know. Yeah.
But the 2 or 3 best rookies for the entire year was Castle and Jalen Wells, 2nd round pick, by the way.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Get well soon, Jalen Wells.
And I think and Edie. So it was just like, you know.
Yeah.
Clutch Player of the Year, obviously. Jalen Brunson, well deserved. He showed it last night. I mean, you know, averaging 14 points in the fourth quarter throughout the series is not an easy feat. So, you know, Jalen Brunson did his thing. Am I missing
6 man?
Six man of the year. Peyton Pritchard for the Boston Celtics. Yep.
Wasn't Coach of the Year official too, or no?
Not yet. They haven't announced Coach of the Year.
That was me. Why did they say, "Oh, congrats on Kenny Atkinson"? And I didn't see no official thing on it yet, though.
No, they said it might have been leaked, but then I'm hearing it was.
No. I think that's the coach's
Oh, the
Vote?
coaches voted.
Oh,
Yeah, the coaches voting. Yeah, that's not the.
Okay.
The actual.
That's not the official.
The
Got
official
it.
voting.
Got it.
Yeah.
So yeah, all we waiting on is
that
coach of the year and MVP.
And
which,
also all NBA teams.
Which, hey man, it should be Shea. Don't do this, NBA.
Yeah.
Don't do this.
Don't say NBA. Don't say NBA. You gotta talk to the media, bro. You know.
Yeah. Don't do this. I will not be shocked, but I'll be shocked. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I listen. So far, the playoffs have been great. Also, shout out to Greg Popovich, man. As he's getting healthy and getting well, he is now going upstairs. In the front office of the San Antonio Spurs,
going back to where he returned. That's where he came from. He was in the front office for the Spurs until he told the coach to tank. Look at that, guys. Somebody who was tanking back in the day too. He told the coach to tank, and the coach didn't want to tank. He fired him and hired himself as a coach. Rest is history. So
that's a fact.
5 championships, man.
They won 50 games for like 14 straight years.
Consistently
talking
made the
about
playoffs.
tanking works.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought he was gonna retire when Duncan and Ginobili and Parker. I thought they was all gonna go out together, bro. But he was
supposed to.
Yeah, he was supposed to.
Unfortunate stuff with his wife.
Yeah.
So it was just like,
yeah, man. Sometimes when you lose somebody, like basketball is the sanctuary. That's the only place you can stay safe.
Man, I forgot. Yeah.
So just being around people and being around the guys, like that stuff helps you a lot. So
keep you alive.
And also, besides his basketball coaching career, incredible human being. The stories I've heard about Greg Popovich is just like crazy. I read one today. I didn't even know. They said that he seen like a family, like their car was beat up. He took them and got him a new car. Like that, that's crazy. I read DeMar DeRozan's book. And he's given a lot of credit to DeMar, especially when DeMar, I think his father passed away. So just incredible human being, Greg Popovich, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Shout out to Pop, man.
Go.
Yeah, the greatest coach of all time.
Yeah.
And that's all I got. Are we missing anything else?
Nah,
I think we covered it all.
I think we covered it all, man.
Yeah, I did miss some basketball tonight.
Well, what we missed, Josh?
I missed one thing. Talking about crash out Giannis. Why did he palm Benedict Mathurin? Come on, son.
Bro, it was so awkward.
When he grabbed the back
of his neck.
It was awkward because
wait. What was funny? The funny thing about it was when he approached Benedict, right? He grabbed it and Matthew was trying to get away from him. He was still holding on. Like, get over here.
Look, I'm confused because like, all right, Giannis did that, so it's like, all right, but Matthew was still in that space, so it's like, is he showing sportsmanship? But then
I don't think he realized he was going to do that. Because he was embracing him until he went like this. He
he was like, yo, get off of me. And Giannis just wouldn't let go.
Yo, bro, Giannis was, bro. They said, y'all know how there's been a conversation of can 100 men defeat a gorilla? They said Giannis by himself.
Yo, oh my God. Speaking of Giannis, do you guys think he's going anywhere?
I think so, man. I think so. Like,
I don't know, but I
don't see him running it back, especially with Dame having this Achilles injury. The front office, it's not looking like they want to make a big move.
Well, they re-signed a GM.
It's time for Giannis to go, man. Giannis said, if we're not competing for championships, then what am I here for? And obviously, the guy that you brought in to help him win another championship is unfortunately hurt. is going to be out for an extended amount of time. So that's why, Giannis, say peace. You the greatest buck of all time. You did it in great fashion. You reverse swept the Suns.
What you just said?
The greatest buck of all time.
Disrespectful.
So,
what, to Kareem?
Yeah, you don't think Kareem? Oscar?
Oh no, man.
I mean, yes,
he disrespecting a Harlem legend like that.
He leads the franchise in total points and all that stuff. But the greatest buck of all time, it's debatable.
No, you might be right. You might be right.
Yeah, it's debatable. I mean,
reverse swept the Suns, dropped 50 in a Game 6 closeout, bro. You know what I mean? So, and won the city's championship in what it was 50 years, right? Before they claimed that title. So, yeah, man, Giannis, and especially from Giannis' upbringing, from where he came from to where he is now, it's crazy, man. I'm saying all this because I'm currently working on the video of Giannis right now.
I get it.
No, yeah.
Giannis, just be smart, man.
And shout out to Armando. Yo, the videos you be putting out been fire. I just watched your WrestleMania one, the one with the terrible endings. That one was great because I forgot about a lot of those WrestleMania.
Triple H, I want my money back, bro.
Sub up to his channel, y'all.
Appreciate that, y'all. Yes. The name is down here. Check me out.
John, to answer your question, John, the draft lottery is Josh's name. Pray for May 12th. May 12th is the day.
Look, Josh said it. Actually, I'm not going to say it on air. I'm not going to say it on air. I'm going to let Josh.
I want a special message for Giannis. Giannis, please, cameras, come to me. Cameras. I'm acting like I'm on the show right now. Cameras.
Me right here. I'm looking at you. Yeah, let's go.
Giannis, please make the smart decision. Go to
Brooklyn.
Actually win a championship. Don't come to a black canvas. You know what I'm saying? Don't come to don't come to a GM that doesn't know how to handle personalities. Okay, just do what's right. I know you love New York, but that's what the summer's for, right? You can come every summer, but you don't got to be in the black and white.
He was just in New York yesterday.
What that mean?
Or the other day.
What that mean? There's a lot of players that be in LA. That don't mean nothing.
I'm just saying he was walking the streets of New York, bro.
Okay, what that mean?
Hey, Justin, that's gonna be on ESPN Monday night. ESPN Monday night.
May 12th.
May 12th.
May 12th. Yo, actually, while y'all here, we're gonna do a playback.
I'll be at the watch party for that night.
Hold on,
All right, man.
That's fine. We can still.
All the teams that's not in the playoffs, we will be doing a playback.
Armani, guess what? We can't even go because we don't have a lottery pick, so we can't even go.
Listen, we will do a playback, and if y'all want to see live reactions, our playback is the same as our YouTube and every name possible, Swoosh Hoops podcast. So, yes, I do too. Yo, John, you're a good guy, man. Even though you're a Knicks fan, you're a good guy. We have the same sentiments, man.
No. Here's the thing, John. I don't need that. Like, I don't need OKC getting another pick so they could add another star. No, I'm good.
They got mad.
Armani channel.
Oh, Armani.
Miami.
Oh,
it's my name, Armastradamus. So yeah.
Can you put it in the chat?
Yeah, I got you.
And also, the Thunder got the Heat's pick.
Oh, I can't connect.
Yeah, right.
I can't connect to the chat, but yeah, it's my name, Armastradamus. ARMASTRADAMUS. Yes, sir.
Justin, I'm gonna text it to you.
Appreciate that, bro. Thank you. But yeah, I think that's it, fellas.
All right, man.
Also, one more thing. Kevin Durant. I mean,
what you gotta say about him?
He clearly he's probably not going to stay in Phoenix.
But their options is limited, right? Like they can't take on two players for him, right? Since the second.
Well, no, you can't send out you can't send out one salary and if you're over the second apron and break it up into multiple. It has to be like an even. That's why it's probably going to take a third or fourth team to make it all happen. So that way, they can get multiple players back and all this stuff. It's just, it's I don't know, man. I don't know.
Damn, bro. Tyler Hero for KD's all crazy in the summer, man.
That's nasty, bro.
It's all crazy in the summer, man.
That's nasty.
Oh man.
But we'll see. But again, guys, thank you guys for joining the show today. And like I said, it's gonna be great, some great playoff basketball coming up. Obviously tonight, Warriors and the Rockets, and then tomorrow we have Game 7 between the Nuggets and the Clippers, and then the second round starts. Second round kicks off on Sunday, so a lot of good basketball. Some high level hoops, and like we said, you got the draft lottery coming up.
Free agency starting up soon.
Yo, is it me or
WNBA?
Do I feel like the schedule of the players been pushed back opposed to last year?
No, it's the same. It's around the same time.
Because I remember we was out in 5, like a couple weeks before May even hit. That's how I remember it. Because of course Twitter got to remind you, this day Jamal Murray hit the shot. You know what I'm saying? So
that was during the Kendrick.
Yes, yeah, and and the tracks that he dropped from the beef was. I remember listening to Not Like Us watching the Mavericks versus the Thunder. That's what I remember. I remember that. Son came out with Meet the Grams. You heard this?
They said Kendrick was sick of Canadians because after Jamal Murray couldn't play.
That was the thing. Oh man, I miss Anthony Davis. But but guys, again, thank you. And like always, man, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and watch some damn basketball. Peace and love.
Whoa.